things happen for a reason. Nothing in life is random. And I always think that, when you have a chance meeting with someone, when you, go to the coffee shop and the barista says something to you that ignites an idea or whatever it is. Can we talk a little bit about that and how, like, Einstein even knew that?
Einstein was a intuitive person. He was double water, Pisces, Sun, Cancer rising. He felt things. He was very attuned. He was the guy that was quoted to say, "In my dismay of leadership, in my distaste of leadership, God made me one." He was resistant to the humans because he was living inside of a very, very deep, rich. Can you imagine the world that he lived in, where he talked about relativity and time and space? Everyone in that's listening to this podcast has the ability to activate the part of yourself who asks the deep questions, just like he did, who continues to seek. He had Moon and Sag. Please keep seeking. Everyone here has hardships. Don't let them stop you. Use them as leverage to ask another question. So, what am I supposed to be learning right now? And if you take the role of an Einstein, the willingness to consider that nothing's happening randomly, and this is being done to you, for you, by your spirit, the thing gets so interesting.
And when things happen to you, it's your perception if they're bad or not as well, right? So things have happened in my life now over the last little while where I could perceive as like, oh my God, that's so bad. But because of my knowledge, I don't. I said, like, this is an opportunity. This is the opportunity for growth now. Take it, take the lead, So the way that you
Yes, that
perceive
is so
things,
Sagittarius.
yeah, the way that
That's
you
right,
perceive things.
100% truth.
Mm,
And so if you can't, and that's why you're listening to this podcast, because if you can't trust your mind to give you the key to optimistically get out of that deep, dark hole, if you can't find the optimistic spiritual question, what am I supposed to be learning? You can't get, then you seek counsel and you ask for help. And I have 25 certified astrologers that I've trained rigorously that will look at your chart, talk to you on the phone, and say to you, this is what you're supposed to be learning right now because we can't get the answers ourselves. We are here as an interdependent planet. We need each other. So when things go wrong and you really can't figure out the way out, ask for help. I swear to you, that's what I do every single time, and it works.
I want to ask you, there's a lot of talk about Mercury retrograde and full moons and all this kind of stuff. You are the OG of astrology. Does that affect people? Talk to us a bit about that. And then talk to us about the full moon, because I feel that does make a difference. But you are the queen of this stuff.
I love that I got that job. A reflection of many past lives. Um, Mercury, so if you see two trains going together on the same rhythm, all of a sudden it looks like one is going backwards. And you're driving by it and it looks like it's going the wrong direction. That's what Mercury retrograde is. The Earth and Mercury travel together, and 3 times a year they go at the same speed in Mercury. And yes, it affects computers, travel, communication, mind, going backwards and reviewing things. It's definitely real. I tried to think it wasn't because I'm a Gemini like you, so I was like, huh? But it's real. One. And then every full moon is an increase of voltage where the waters on the planet all rise up. There's more instances of accidents, of hospital activity, of mental illness, of emotional outbreaks than any other time in the month. And it's very real that we are almost all water. So the emotional body is activated during a full moon. There is reason to go outside and howl, to be big, as compared to a new moon when the sun and the moon are together and it's a dark sky. And if you live in Hawaii, you can't go out at night. There's nothing to be seen. It's dark. So that's an internal time during a new moon where we pray. The outside is during the full moon where we're like, time to party. And that's real. It's been going across all time. It's been used across, and there's methods to learn the conversations. I have a newsletter that comes out every new moon and full moon to say, here's the conversation that should be reflected in your mind. If we're cosmic creatures, I have a headset on right now. This is my cosmic creature headset. And I'm connecting with the higher realm, and I've got a relationship with stars and moons and things behind your head. Now we are intergalactically, interplanetary, interrelating, and we're not stuck in this myopic thing thinking I'm alone, I'm scared, I'm lonely, no one really cares about me. What are you talking about? How could you possibly be alone? There's no way on this planet to be alone. There's spirits everywhere right now in the room you're in. Everybody stop and sense the ancestors who are tracking you and watching you. And they're listening to you listen to a podcast about astrology. They're going, she's opening up her mind. He's finally getting open to considering that maybe there is an interconnected magic, because you see it all the time, and so do I. I have so many examples of in my lifetime. My best example was I recently was in a Whole Foods. I did a meditation that morning, and I asked in the meditation, is there anyone in my life that I have an out with that if I died, it would be incomplete? And they said yes. And they showed me this guy. I hadn't seen him in 10 years. And I was like, what? And I walked into Whole Foods for no apparent reason, looked at the door, and that guy was standing at the door.
Oh my God.
And he came in, and I walked up to him and I said, this is going to be a very weird conversation. Forgive me now. I wanted to say something. I know that we had a bad issue a long time ago. Your wife got divorced. You heard a session in the car when you got in it. Thinking that I was encouraging it, I was just your therapist at the time. And I want to say, please forgive me. I am so sorry. And by the way, I watched your two boys grow up and they're beautiful. Can I have a hug? And he hugged me. And we finished the conversation. And then I said to him, what are you doing here? And he said, I don't know. I said, me either. But that was the divine orchestration of a meditation, a prayer, and a healing that happened because I listened.
I love that. That's such a beautiful story.